Gosu! Hello ladies and gentlemen, AWOL here from FTW Broadcasting, and I'm bringing you the very first GosuCast. Alright, why is it called a GosuCast? You're probably wondering that right out the gate. Well, I'm naming these GosuCast because this is going to be solo content from me. Danny's not going to be on these casts. I just got my new computer, which I named the Emperor, and I'm going to be doing these casts by myself, mostly on pro games, on players that are actually Gosu. Now, the whole point, coming into this, the whole point of these is to have fun and to be entertained by the pros, and we might actually learn a little bit from them too. So I'm going to try to find my groove here and find out what you guys want from me as a solo caster. So I'm going to try out some different stuff, some different styles. You let me know in the comments below what you want to see. But right now, let's get right into the action. Going to pull up the nameplate and let you know who we're playing. WhiteRa versus GGOurk. Now, WhiteRa is otherwise known as Grandpa Toss, and he is 275 wins and 115 losses on the BNet ladder, which makes him number 20th in his Grandmaster League. He's ranked 88th in the world according to SC2 ranks, and this guy is a legend. He has an unbelievable amount of experience, and he's pretty much a Protoss only player. Let's take a look at his competition. He's got a big player to defeat here. GGOurk. Yes, he's going to have his hands full as he... now, GG, I was trying to figure out what the GG meant, and I was unable to Google the answer. By the way, racks up right here for GG, as well as gateway up for WhiteRa. Pretty standard right now. Duckload's probably going to follow up with that cyber core here in just a moment. Both players scouting, by the way, to the wrong locations on the map. Now, GG, I was wondering whether... GG is a fan of Duckload, according to the chat box here. Clan Good Guys is a possibility. Also, I was thinking it might mean Gosu Gamers, but it could just mean GG. So maybe I'm overthinking it. GG immediately pumping out that early Marine here, and his resources are shooting up right now. He's building up a whole lot. Based on this SCV placement, I would think that he's going to go for an early expansion. A few early Marines, maybe a bunker or something right here, and he might be in good shape. Let's see if Duckload's going to be able to apply a bunch of pressure. He did not do the early 2-gate, which would allow him to pump out 2 early Zealots and follow it up with 2 early Reinforcement Zealots. Honestly, that's pretty hard to pull off against Terran. It's a lot more effective against Zerg. But anyway, the GGOurk, I just think it's good game Orc. I think that's what that means. He is a pro player. He is from the UK. He is a professional StarCraft 2 player, and he is ranked number 2 in his Masters League and 167 in the world according to SC2 ranks. So take that as it is. He's a good player. Typically, he plays Protoss. And so he's playing Terran in this game, which is very interesting. And we're seeing the second racks being dropped down and third racks being dropped down here by GGOurk. And so we're going to see some early pressure, perhaps, or maybe he's getting these extra racks just to defend this kind of risky natural expansion. It's not as risky as you would think. You know, considering the distance on the ground is so freaking long on this map, the Zealot, it's going to take him a good 45 seconds to run from over here to over here. Now, the SCV is coming in, Scout SCV from GGOurk. Gonna spot that early gateway and is spotting the heck out of that Stalker. Get him, Stalker! Take him down! He will not survive. Boom! Sucker! That SCV did get destroyed right there. Sorry, I can only support an SCV if he is attacking. If he's running away, I do not support that type of behavior. And Zealot running from these 3 Marines right now, good decision. 3 guns is a little too much. 2 guns you can deal with. And now this bunker is being finished, so that early Zealot pressure is basically being nullified at this point. And so let's take a look at our friend, the APM tab. I'm always curious to see what kind of APM players have as the game progresses, see if that tells us anything. And early in the game here, we're seeing a lot of 80 to 100. I'm sure that will increase as we get more towards like the 10 or 15 minute mark, as these guys are starting to control more bases and more units. So let's keep an eye on that as we move along. Both players at about 100, so that's plenty of APM to get done what you need to get done. And never question WhiteRa. By the way, he is formerly known as WhiteRa, and he's from Odessa, Ukraine, putting up his own natural expansion here with the pylon out front. And very good decision there. He's going to need to keep up with his GGOurk opponent here. And we're seeing a lot of early Marines, but now the Tech Lab is being dropped down on this rack, so no doubt we're going to see a couple early Marauders as well. This is heavy Marines. Looks like a total of 10. Stim Pack upgrade in the works right now, so perhaps we'll see an early timing push from GGOurk once that Stim is finished. Duckload does have 2 Stalkers out in front of this base on the contain. Not really going to contain much as they are completely outmatched at this time. Let's take a look at units tab and see how these guys are distributing. And at this time, lots of Marines, 30 SCVs and 1 Mule, and oh god, another Marine out front. You know, you hate to be Ensign Ricky. You hate to be the guy that gets sent out front because that's what happens to you. And then you just evaporate in 10 seconds and nobody even remembers that you lived. Unless you're immortalized in a YouTube video. These Marines are going to move out right now, and they do not have their stim pack upgrade, but they don't need it to push away these 2 Stalkers. Duckload realizes it. No doubt he's going to probably pull back to like the Zelnaga Tower or something and just kind of regroup in the meantime. HTs are now in play. HTs, folks. Early HTs from WhiteRa as he picked up that Twilight Council, went straight to Templar Archives, and is now chrono boosting out Psionic Storm. That is awesome. He does have 3 gateways up and running with warp gate technology, so he's ready to warp in. He's got double gas going here, double gas going here. Going to need that quad gas in order to support HT production, as they do require 150 a pop, which is a ton. But they are super powerful, so that's always good. Nice placement with these Stalkers still. Once again, he will know if GG's trying to move out, coming back in with more harassment, but with the range upgrade on these bunkers, I mean, forget about it, Stalkers. What you doing, son? Oh, you just got blown up there. Why did Duckload do that? I don't know what information he was trying to get. He already knew there was an expansion there, and he knew his opponent wasn't anywhere else on the map, but you know, maybe that was a little bit of a mistake. Maybe he thought he was going to be able to apply more pressure. And we're seeing a Robo Bay being dropped out down here. But maybe a couple observers will be pumped out of that. And another pylon here, so we're going to see some unit-producing buildings here at the entrance of this base. Very light on the army count right now on the units. Only 5 Zealots, 1 Stalker, 1 Sentry, and a couple HTs. If used properly, though, this army here from GG is so it's so light in bio that those High Templar could end up killing all of them if those Psi Storms are placed correctly. Rocks being destroyed right here. Looks like a second expansion's in the works for GG, and it looks like Duckload, yeah, he just cleared out the rocks over here at this second expansion, so both players appear that they are going to be expanding for a second time at the same time. And both players kind of mirroring each other. Whoa, Warp Prism being brought in here. What is that Warp Prism going to do? Why would you go quick HTs and then get a Warp Prism? Very interesting. And Psionic Storm is up and running at this time. Without the amulet, though, it isn't going to be any instant cast, so looks like that's why he brought those 3 original ones. Okay, so he's loading up these HTs into this Warp Prism, and now they're heading across the map. Second expansion being dropped by Duckload at this time, by the way. Where are they going to drop? That will be super effective. This is going to be inopportune timing because GGOurk's army is in the center of the map, folks. So this could be carnage both ways, as both players are going to be pretty vulnerable. Second expand getting pressure here from GGOurk, and we have a bunch of Zealots right now. Do not have the leg upgrade, but they have a couple HTs to back them up. But here's our drop. The Warp Prism bringing in Psi Storms right on top of that mineral line. Oh, that was pretty effective, as about 6 or 7 workers were killed there, and I'm sure that's going to put GGOurk on edge. He's going to start building missile turrets and crap, I'm sure. And this Warp Prism needs to get out of there now because they've used all their energy. A huge battle went down here. I'm sorry I didn't get to cover both, as Psi Storms are the most interesting thing in the game, but it looks like things turned out fairly even, and Duckload Raw reinforced with some extra Zealots, which pushed away that which was at the time a superior force from GGOurk. Now GG really wants to take down this Warp Prism that was giving him so much trouble earlier. Get out, Warp Prism! Get out of there! Run, 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 run! Forced to drop the HTs out. He thought the Warp Prism was doomed, but in fact it was not doomed, and all of those HTs were lost. I think 1 Psi Storm damaged 1 unit there, so that was ineffective. 1 HT did survive. He will come back for vengeance. And take a look at the one thing that's really interesting for me is this supply count has been pretty much dead even. By the way, leg upgrade right now for Duckload Raw, and double weapon and armor upgrade here for GGOurk being upgraded at this time. And so the legs are now finished, and we have 5 gates plus how many more gates? 6 and 7 gates. So we're going to have a 7-gate play here from Duckload Raw as we move forward. And the Robo Bay and robotics facility has been dropped down at this time. This is a kind of an interesting unit transition, which it's going to work out. What is going to be effective against this Terran bio of GGOurk? HTs, Colossi, even Archon being busted out because of the extra damage to Bio, and so that's just going to straight murder this army. And as we move forward, if both these players are able to max out, Duckload will have the advantage given these comps that we're seeing right now. And so we're just going to keep it on the production tab to see how these guys are going to do moving forward. RoboBay just got finished here, so we'll probably see a Colossus pop up in this tab here soon. And I'd like to take a look at the income tab at this time, see how these guys are doing. Fairly even in that regard as well. Duckload is ahead in the Harvesters by a little bit, but it doesn't matter because mules are in the game for GG, so he'll be able to basically keep up. These guys are just really even so far, which is impressing me. That's very much impressing me because GGOurk is not as renowned of a player as Duckload Ra, but you know what? That doesn't mean he's not Gosu. So we do see this expansion now being fully saturated, as well as this expansion is now going up for Duckload Ra. So both players expanded once, twice, now 3 times, and they're basically mirroring each other there on the economy. Extended Thermal Lance upgrade, baby, being researched for Duckload in 2 Colossi. That's going to be dangerous, but you know it's also going to be dangerous. I bet we're going to see it in the back. There it is, Ghost Academy. And 3 ghosts in production right now for GGOurk. EMPs are a game changer. They're a game changer, and you know, if you EMP your opponent just the right time, if you surprise him with it, or you can even overt a battle if you're behind and just EMP him twice, and they now have to back up. The thing about Duckload, I don't think he'll make the right. His strongest thing is he makes the right decision, and I don't think he'll get EMP'd twice and then decide to move in anyway. But you know what? He's known to make the right decisions because he is more experienced than most players. A drop right here at this base as the Marines came in and destroyed a ton of probes as they're forced to get out of there, and a pylon was forced to cancel. Now these Marines are just laying in to this expansion as these Zealots are forced to come in here and try to help out. These Marines now doing ring around the rosy around this Nexus trying to save it. These Zealots, are they going to be able to save it or not? There's only a couple Marines left. They're getting healed the entire time. It's deadly. It's deadly. Will this Nexus go? The Colossi in here in just the right time. Those Marines take down that Nexus. That was epic. That was absolutely Gosu Micro by GGOurk. Good job, buddy. Oh man, that was pretty exciting. He did that against Duckload too, and Duckload was doing everything he could with those Zealots. He even had the leg upgrade. He was unable to stop them from kiting around this Nexus. Very entertaining, folks. And I like Duckload's placement here on his main army. He's right by the Xel'Naga tower, which is going to let him see everything that GG's going to attempt to do. And army counts right now, we're still even. We're still even. I want to pull up the Gosu tab. This is going to be the Gosu tab for GosuCasts. It's units killed. It's units lost in TROLLCAST, so I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Units killed right now. Duckload has killed a lot more units of GG's, but that's probably because it's just a lot of Marine fodder that he has killed so far. Workers killed pretty even. So I'm really going to call it fairly even in that tab right now. The winner will... well, they won't get a JPEG of a trophy because these guys are pros and they don't care about a JPEG of a trophy. But if they wanted one, they could have one. All right, we got a bunch of Colossi here in the center of the map. Now this has become, well, it is a death ball, Duckload Ra death ball getting scanned. So now GGOurk knows exactly what that comp is, but now Vikings are coming into play. A total of 4 right now, always a good choice, especially around the 15-minute mark against a Protoss player, as almost any death ball army consists of, you know, a bunch of Colossus. And that is a lot of Vikings for this army of Duckload to handle. He didn't have any Stalkers here. And so the only thing that's going to be able to do in the meantime is drop down a Psystorm or 2. And those Archons will be fairly effective, but not really. So there's not enough Stalkers here to really deal with that. And I think when this goes down, those Vikings are going to be able to make short work of the Colossi, but I could be wrong. So that's a really smart choice by GG. Going to keep him in the battle against this Death Ball. An expansion attempt here, but Duckload has blocked this with the Zealot. A Marauder now coming in, and that Marauder is going to take care of business if it's microed properly. Micro, do some micro. There you go. Now you're microing. And there you go. Stim pack. No, the Zealot says, I don't care. Like a boss, takes him down. And you aren't going to be able to land. No, get in there, Duckload. Block this expansion. And just in the nick of time, he blocks it. And all these Vikings are now coming in here. Uh-oh. Yeah, he got himself into some trouble. Sorry, kid. You're dead now. Well, at least Duckload has that information. That Zealot ended up killing some stuff and giving him some valuable information, so that's good. And this is just a massive force from Duckload and a massive force here from GG. And when these armies collide, I got to give it to Duckload right now. Between Psystorms, Colossi, and Archons, all that splash damage, bio damage, massive damage, he's just going to kill it unless he gets caught in the bad position. If the Terran army is able to form a concave, he'll be able to take down Duckload, though. So let's see how this goes. And Duckload pulling back. This is very interesting. He's pulling back right this time. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing. Maybe he's going to wait for these additional upgrades to be finished, as he does have 2 armor and 2 weapons. By the way, I saw this earlier, didn't mention it. Double Forge being dropped down here. And how many gateways is this, man? This is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 gateways being dropped down by Duckload. That's impressive. With these double robos, he's got all the production capabilities he wants. And if you take a look at the income up here in the top right, these players have a ton. They're sitting on a ton of money since their armies are maxed out. They're going to be able to reinforce after this big battle happens here in the center of the map, but it didn't happen yet. And both players just being very timid, just kind of dancing their armies around the ring here, basically, and not really coming in to throw any punches at this time. And they're just kind of poking around, and if we take a look at the production tab, maybe we'll see why. Both players have upgrades that are kind of on the way. Maybe they're waiting on these upgrades. They just want to play it safe, and the EMP got dropped there, and a few units here in the back did get their shields taken away. You don't want your HTs getting hit by that, that's for sure. And those ghosts might nullify this advantage that Duckload Raw has at this time. They're going to really be detrimental to Archons, especially to HTs, though. As soon as those HTs lose their energy, they're worthless. Okay, the Colossi now engaging. These Zealots coming in here doing a great job of bunching everything together. GG needs to split his army right now because these Colossus are going to destroy, splash damaging the crap. There's a couple Psystorms here in the middle. These Marauders and these Marines are splitting into 2 armies, kind of using this column to split the battle, sort of as a natural split there, and just taking everything down as that massive concave came into play. And all these medevacs, I didn't mention this earlier, but that really helped beef this up. Massive reinforcement zealots as these Marauders and Marines are forced to pick up, and the remainder on the field there is going to be murdered. And these Z's are pissed, and they're going to go attack somewhere, probably one of these expansions if I were to guess. So epic battle there. Duckload able to reinforce no problem, sitting on top of 5,400 minerals right now. 5,400 minerals. Pull up the resource tab. Take a look at this, folks. And right now, GG is way ahead in the army count. If he started moving in, he would start devastating at this time, as he's able to reinforce so quickly. He doesn't have enough forces on the ground, though, I think. He's scared because he doesn't have enough forces on the ground. He's all kinds of scared, and trying to drop down another base here in the top right-hand corner, and that's going to work out okay. It's probably going to get scouted at some point. But hey, sneaky expand's always fine with me, as Duckload has sneaky expanded himself. No doubt he'll probably go up here too. We'll see if he goes up there. That's probably his next expansion. It's the next safest. That one, and he'd have to break some rocks over here. So that'll probably be his 3rd safest. So we see Duckload Raw starting to reinforce his army just with unlimited resources and just pumping out as much as he'd like. You know, both of these players are probably going to get to max upgrades here soon. We see Blink being researched, so we're probably going to see a more Stalker-heavy mix this time to deal with those Vikings of GG, which is a really good decision. Planetary Fortress upgrade being researched right now. That'll be right here. Good decision. And Missile Turret. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Just in time, right? Missile turrets, because we see a DT being pumped out here. Just hit the production tab and then quickly disappeared from Duckload Raw. So some DT harass going to come into play here at some of these expansions. Meanwhile, this Death Ball is forming right here in the center of the map. Death Ball, unite, unite, unite here in the center of the map. And this is going to be very effective, as major harass happening here on Duckload Raw's expansion once again. The DTs, though, getting warped in to handle business. So much business is being handled. And will this, ooh, the medevac, oh, it doesn't. Blink Micro right there. Sick Blink Micro. That's what I'm talking about. From, I'm going to zoom in on you guys because that was Gosu. That's some Gosu Micro. Thank you, Duckload Raw. You just made my day there with that blink. I don't know why. It really surprised me. Stalker right now forcing this expansion from GG to lift off and head away. So now it's sort of like an income blocking battle. And we see a pylon being built right here. So Duckload's going to be able to warp in like 11 units at a time if you wanted to apply pressure to this planetary fortress. So that should be interesting. Meanwhile, we see the main armies in the center of the map dancing around. Oh no, these HTs are really exposed right now. If there was a stim up, these HTs would get taken down at this time, and they are stimming up. This is scary. Blink coming in here from Duckload Raw, trying to push away. Archon Warpins, all they can do because the EMP dropped on top of them, and they lost their energy. Archons, move in. Everyone unite. Zealots, move in the front. So much healing going on from these medevacs, though. And now these armies, your giant concave has formed here. These Stalkers aren't going to be able to do enough damage, and those Vikings did so much damage in the first place to those Colossi. The bunch got taken out in the beginning, but Zealot reinforcement once again from Duckload Raw. Always an excellent choice when there's a bunch of stuff in the sky that can't attack ground. Bring in some more Z's. And let's take a look at the upgrade. Three on the weapons and 3 on the armors. And right now, tons of DT pressure. I'm sorry, I missed a bunch of that. DTs, baby. Taking down that top right-hand expansion. And another one having to be canceled out there. God, that was absolutely devastating. We take a look at the units tab here. There's 10 DTs on the field right now doing massive income harassment. So that begs the question, how's the income looking? Even, once again, these players, even Steven, folks. Even Steven. Look at the supply count staying pretty even still. And both players doing a great job applying pressure. Looks like we got a block up here in the top left-hand corner. Probably there it is, a probe coming up here to build. That Nexus will have a unpleasant surprise waiting for him. 2 Marauders are going to murder his face off. And oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Probe. I'm sorry. This is going to be terrible. It's going to be painful. No, no! As he goes down there. Good job, GG, blocking that expansion. Looks like some harassment is happening here. The DT being nice and smart, staying out of the range. Ooh, got a pop to the face there, though. Staying out of the range of the planetary fortress as they're taking down these refineries, trying to cut off the gases from his opponent. Not a bad idea. To get all the harass in there, you can. Bit of missed micro there on those 2 DTs there, as the planetary fortresses eat DTs like they are Ritz crackers. And Duckload Raw blinking in here and going to easily take down those 2 Marauders. And now this expansion can go up for him. And as we move forward, what does Duckload Raw need to do? What does he need to change in his comp to really take out this army? And what does GG need to do with his comp? I think GG has the right comp right now. I really do. I would like to see, excuse me, more HTs being built by Duckload Raw. But you know what? As long as GG's on the ball with those EMPs, those HTs are worthless. So it's going to come down to micro and placement on this last battle, which is fine by me. Well, I say last battle. I don't even know this is going to be a last battle. Could be another one. Look at all the resources these guys have to reinforce after this. They can max out once again with 3,000 and another DT tried to get in there, try to get some free licks. Kashink, and you blew up, son. And that observer is now getting vision of that army. The comp is exposed. Scanning here. Oh no, that observer got taken out. Come on, man. You got to protect. You got to watch your own back. Duckload getting scanned and realizing he needs to regroup and pull back. And both armies are maxed out right now. Plasma shields finally being upgraded for Duckload Raw. Man, I wish plasma shield upgrades were a little bit better. Armor and weapons is what you always get first. If plasma shields were a little bit better, more players would mix it up, maybe. Blizzard, listen to me. I know a lot. Oh, no, these ghosts are getting just completely murdered before they're able to do anything there. 1 EMP going off on the front of this army, and these Colossi are now dealing massive damage, but almost no Vikings are being taken out by Stalkers. And those Vikings are now going to finish up the remainder of these Colossi as a giant concave was able to be formed. But once again, reinforcement zealots coming in here. They're absolutely buck wild with the 3-weapon upgrade. That's 2 attacks, 11 damage apiece, which means a couple swipes, and you melt through. Oh, yeah, I like that death animation. Just split into 6 pieces, as those side blades are basically 2 giant lightsabers on your arms to take you out, son. And these zealots are going to chase down this force here. Looks like we're going to have some reinforcements here, though, to back this up from GG. These zealots are going to get melted. They need to pull back. Pull back, Duckload. He has the awareness. Yes, he does. He's pulling back right now to save his remaining Z's with that movement speed upgrade. These guys right here will be safe, but their buddy died in vain. And right now we see additional harassment from these Stalkers. This planetary fortress is in trouble. This is enough Stalkers to get business handled. And yes, split up your forces there, Duckload, so the splash doesn't get you. A couple mules being brought in here to repair this thing. Will it go down? Meanwhile, very mobile army here from GGOurk, taking down additional reinforcements. He's moving across the map. Planetary fortress, will it survive? It's on fire. Oh no, the mule's getting in here, trying to save this thing, and it, oh, kaboom, son. It just went down. good harassment, good income harassment, immediately being followed up with this income harassment from GG, bringing this army in. This expansion is going to go down. DT's getting all up in the middle here, though. The scan taking them out, unfortunately, for WhiteRa. All these probes forced to pull back to this this sneaky expand over here, though, but the secret is out. It's been out, actually, since the beginning, and this expansion is pretty much doomed. But right behind it is the giant force from WhiteRa. Stemmed up Z's coming in here, getting a giant concave, dealing tons of damage. There's not enough forces on the ground to make this happen, but there's enough in the sky over and over and over again. All these resources being pumped into Colossi for WhiteRa, and they keep getting moidalized by those Vikings. Stalkers, though, blinking in here, doing massive damage to these Vikings, taking out Medivacs. I love this micro. Blink down the cliff, do it. Oh my gosh, blink micro from WhiteRa. This is what makes my day once again. Thank you, WhiteRa. I love it when you blink with Stalkers. Mass blink Stalker replays with him are freaking entertaining, folks. And we see some Zealots moving in here on these Marauders. Stemmed up, forced to run away, but when that stem wears off, Zealots are now faster once again with those leg upgrades. 2 Zealot. God, he's going buck wild. He's going to go all the way. Oh, man, he's got some friends over here, though. They're going to back this up. The DT saying here, don't kill my friend. Jimmy the Zealot, no. Both of them went down because of the scan, and that was very unfortunate. It looks like we see all kinds of red on the mini-map here converging into the center. We're going to see another death ball forming, no doubt. More Colossi being produced here from WhiteRa, but he's unable to deal with these Vikings. He's unable to deal with it. Let's take a look at income, because that was a lot of economic damage dealt there, and GGOurk very behind in economy, down by like 600 on resources and 400 on gas. And I mean, it's that harvester count that's really killing him. The DT harass and the Stalkers coming in here and taking out the planetary fortress that once lived was very effective. And GG needs to get that harvester count back up because he's very behind. If you take a look in the top right-hand corner, that's going to tell the story. With Duckload having 1,700 in resources, 500 gas, he's going to be able to reinforce like a mug. These Zealots, though, in a very bad situation right this time. They're going to need to pull back. Get back, boys, as there's some lazy DTs here just kind of hanging out. Maybe they'll start moving here soon. Altercation here in the center, as looks like some Vikings were out of position getting murdered by some Stalkers, and some stray Marines and Marauders in the center of the map. A bit too overwhelming of a force there from Duckload, as those Vikings appeared to not get microed properly, which allowed these Colossi to actually do their job. Natural expansion being taken out, it was pretty much worthless except for mules and scans. But right now, it looks like it's main-on-main action, as GG has gotten in here. These DTs trying to handle business. They aren't going to be able to stop this giant force, though, as the scan is taking him out. And right now, both mains being murdered. This is just such a massive force by GG in the freaking middle of WhiteRa's base, and this is a bad situation. But Colossi and Zealots doing everything they can to match that damage. Terran do have the advantage, though. Lift off and get on out of there. Not enough AA to take the stuff out. Show me the blink here, Duckload. Show me the blink and take out this building. It's on fire. It's going to die anyway. What do you know? So now both mains have been completely disrupted. Both players are really going to be unable to produce that much. In the meantime, Duckload does have a handful of gateways still up and running. So, it looks like it's time for both players to kind of split up their army a bit and just go for bases, is what the game is turning into at this time. Income tab is going to be very critical at this time. 0 income for GG. 0 income, whereas 1,900 for WhiteRa with his 70 harvesters. That is going to spell just a huge advantage for WhiteRa. It might even mean doom for GG if Duckload is really ahead on the supply count as well. But if you take a look at the units tab, I'm sorry, let's take a look at the army tab at this time, and man, GG's all kinds of supply blocked. He just looks like his future is very grim. He's gonna have to make things happen with this army right now, and he's doing it right now. This sneaky expand. Just going down. All these probes, no doubt, are going to get murdered at this time, and that's bad. And but you know what? Duckload's going to be okay. He's got his expansion up here up and running, and he's like, screw it. You take out my main, I'll just build 4 gateways up in my sneaky expand, no problem. Looks like we have 2 armies going to converge on each other very soon. GG's going to be revealed soon if he doesn't do something. So it looks like it's going to be his final stand here with this force, as he basically has nothing left to produce buildings, except for these ones flying up here in the corner, which aren't going to help him out much until they land. Psystorm is being dropped down right on top of this army. Oh my gosh! Psystorm, Psystorm, Psystorm! unbelievable, and that was very effective. Meanwhile, there's not enough Vikings here to really deal with these Colossi, and that is forcing GG to GG. Oh my, that was an epic game. Oh, for my first GosuCast, that was absolutely epic. Super long game. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you want to see more GosuCasts, you can click that GosuCast tab down there in the bottom right. That'll be a playlist of all of the ones I've done so far. And if you want to check out our YouTube channel, click that blue link down there in the bottom left-hand corner. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, click the box in the center of the heart. I love you guys. Give me your feedback on this GosuCast. Let me know what you want to see moving forward for me as a solo caster. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you in our next cast. Alright, so as you know, guys, earlier in this video I did allude to a JPEG of a trophy or some sort of new Gosu tab for these GosuCasts. Well, it's actually going to be an actual trophy. Yeah, you see that badass trophy right there? I bet it tastes good, too. Bam, DuckloadRaw won it for this game, so we're going to do actual trophies from now on. So if you win a GosuCast, email me, ftwbroadcasting@gmail.com. I may or may not send you a nice trophy.